The Lord be with you.
and with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke, chapter 6, verses 12 to 19.
Glory to you, O God.
Jesus went out into the hills to pray, and he spent the whole night in prayer to God. When the day came, he summoned his disciples and picked out 12 of them. He called them apostles: Simon, whom he called Peter, and his brother Andrew, James, John, Philip, Bartholomew, Matthew, Thomas, James, son of Alphaeus, Simon called the Zealot, Judas, the son of James, and Judas Iscariot, who became a traitor. He then came down with them and stopped at a piece of level ground where there was a large gathering of his disciples, with a great crowd of people from all parts of Judah, and from Jerusalem, and from the coastal region of Tyre and Sidon, who had come to hear him and to be cured of their diseases. People tormented by unclean spirit were also cured, and everyone in the crowd was trying to touch him, because power came out of him that cured them all. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
My dear brothers and sisters, in the Gospel today, Luke chapter 6, verses 12 to 19, we see the very first thing we heard is that Jesus went to pray. He went to a lonely place on a hill where he could spend time with his Father. Jesus prayed the whole night. We are unaware what form of prayer he used, but we certainly know that he was in communion with the Father, because the very next thing he did the next day, that was, he took 12 decisions of picking up 12 apostles to be with him and to be companions in preaching the good news. We remember all these apostles more than now 2000 years. All of them tried to fulfill their mission after the resurrection of the Lord. These were the ordinary people whom the Lord called and chose to be his companions in the mission of preaching the good news. My dear brothers and sisters, Lord Jesus invites us to build a relationship with him, to be in communion with him. And how can we build a relationship with the Lord or be in communion with him, to be intimately united to him? My dear brothers and sisters, to be united with the Lord or to be in communion with him, we have to come to the Lord in prayer. We need to find time to be with Him, to sit at His feet, to listen to Him. And through this, we will be able to build a relationship with Him. As we do in our day to day life, the people we love or we want to be connected with, we find time. Or probably it may not be possible sometimes, but we always remember them. And this way we are connected to them. In a similar way, we need to be in communion with the Lord or build a relationship with Him. Every now and then, going to Him. The Lord is calling us to be with Him and to be His companions in this new era to preach the good news. We are called to be the apostles of this time. In a similar way, as the Lord spent time in prayer before taking major decisions in life, we are to be reminded, my dear brothers and sisters, to pray. Pray earnestly before taking any major decisions. We need to sit at the feet of the Lord, reveal our plans, and see what the Lord wants us. And surely, when we spend time in prayer, the Lord will give us the grace. His Spirit will inspire us to take the right decisions. So on this festive day, let us ask Saint Simon and Jude to intercede for us. They too were simple people like us. They were weak, fragile. They had talents as well as weaknesses. But then they completely trusted the Lord as they grew more and more closer to Him. Through their intercessions, we too may have the same grace to grow in communion with the Lord, so that the Lord may send us to preach the good news in this present era. Amen.